Hello guys, welcome back. So like I promised, I have knitted up the pages. I'll share this on GitHub so you can follow along. But all I did is copy paste the code from here, these two components into the other components like we discussed, right? We can visit this layout. So if you see the about, we already seen the about. So I just put it in the container row. From the last video, remember that. Now it's under card and card header, where there is a title in the card header, and in the card body some kind of text or link. For the about, it's just a couple of links. The same goes for the welcome page. It's just some lorem ipsum character that you can do to just show some text that will describe about your project, or you can have any other component here later. Another important thing I did that I didn't discuss earlier is I grouped the ticket views. I renamed them and grouped them in this folder called tickets. So that's a very good practice that you can take from Laravel already modules. The module of authentication is now grouped in the auth folder here. It has login, register, and verify views here. Just like that, the ticket folder will have my index.play.php, which lists all the tickets here. Okay, that is the view being used to generate the list of tickets here. The second is a show that shows one link. So when I click using this URL pattern, I'm visiting the detail of one ticket. So this pattern will go on in every CRUD app that we will do. So we'll have views here for CRUD. So for create, I'll have create.blade.php, right? Just like that. For edit, I may have edit.blade.php. Hold on, that's a folder. edit.blade.php, right? Create edit. So for delete, I don't need extra view here. So these views will be used whenever I want to initiate the whenever I want to do the full create, delete, update CRUD, which is what it stands for: create, read, update, delete. To do those, I'll need these views here. And these views will be matched with the methods in the controller. For now, I only have two, the index and the show. But normally, a typical resourceful controller would have 7 functions in it. Index will display all the resources. In my case here, as you can see, all the tickets are displayed using this index. If you observe now, the view is changed. It used to be just tickets, right? But now it's ticket.index because it's inside the folder ticket and the file is named index.blade.php. Just like that, this view is changed. So I only have 2 functions. The rest of the functions are, there is one function to create the form. I'll just call that create, right? After this form is successfully filled and the user clicks, I'll need another function to store into the database. That will be store. This function will be used to store the data filled in the form. The form will be displayed using the create. The create doesn't create anything in the database, okay? It actually displays a form. It returns a view. The view will be that view I just created, right? It will be ticket.create. However, the store will persist this, whatever is the user field in this form, this will be persisted in the database. For now, I'll just do this some message, and that message will be save or something. The other functions that I have include a function to edit. The edit will be used to return, just like this, a view. The edit just returns a view. And that view will be ticket dot edit. Equivalent to the store, once the user fills out the edit form and clicks save or the button to persist that change would call the update method. Obviously, you can make the methods different than these. This is a common thing to do. And if you create a controller using the PHP artisan command, PHP artisan make controller, this is what you will see. And let me zoom in. Move this over here. So if I write PHP artisan make controller, and the name of the controller would be something like this, ticket controller. But since I already have ticket controller, I'd create something like project controller. And you can say -r to create resourceful controller. That resourceful controller would be the equivalent of what we have created here. So if I scroll up, so you can see, go to project controller, you'd see that I have the index method to display all the projects, the create method to create a form, to display a form so the user can fill the detail of the project. The store method will persist when a user saves the form he has filled. The show method would display one particular project, the detail of that project. The edit method will display a form so users can make changes to the already existing project. And finally, the update method will persist the changes the user have made, and the destroy method would remove the persisted record in the database. It just deletes it. So these are the 7 methods. The 7 methods would need to write route for each of these methods. And it's not advisable to write 7 times something like this. These routes, I have already written 2 routes, one for tickets, which displays all the tickets, the second tickets, and then with wildcard ID to show a specific ticket. So I'll have to do the same thing, route -get. Right. So when users go to tickets/create and get rid of this closure, output ticket controller at create. Apologies for my jammy keyboard. Ticket/create would go to ticket controller at create, and that method would display this form, this view that we have seen. Next, we will see when a user clicks save, we'll have to do a route, but this time instead of get, it has to be post, because the method would be post, because now I'm sending something to the server. These 3 are get, because this time I'm getting list of tickets from the server, this time I'm getting 1 ticket, this time I'm getting an HTML from the server. All of them are getting something from the server and displaying it to the user. But now, when a user fills the form and clicks save, I have to save that in the database. So I am sending some user input into the server. That's why I make this post. So I say tickets, you see, and now the URL can be the same as the first one. It's just tickets, which is fine. Because why? The HTTP method or verb that I'm using is different. So now I call ticket controller at store. That is what saved the change I made into the database. For now, I'll just DD for both. I'll just do something like this. Great. So now I'll visit tickets/create. When I visit, I get some kind of error, which is found in my ticket controller. Line 32, I have an error. That is because I didn't put a semicolon here. That's fine. Typo is expected. And there is another error, this time trying to get property title of non-object in ticket show.blade.php. Hold on. I didn't even ask for I'm trying to get access of title of an existing object. Here I'm getting ticket and I'm passing that, and I wonder why that happened now when I'm not even calling that, because I'm calling create here. We should just go. Instead, it's going to the show.blade.php, which is weird. I find that weird. That is probably because this crate is being treated as one of the wildcards for the show, which is here. So the precedence, the order should be this should come first, and then this rule will take over. So when it's crate, it goes to this, but when there is other components like ticket that belongs with one, it displays this, which is fine. Okay, so the order is important. So the point I was trying to get at is you can't be doing this over and over. So for projects, you will do this. There is more for the edit, for the update. This could get tedious. So what you can do is get rid of all this and just write routes and then say resource. That would just map everything here. Tickets go to ticket controller. This is one of the magic that Laravel take care of for you, and everything will be perfectly working as it used to. You don't have to worry. If I go to create, it creates that too. And if I go to store, tickets, but post, I don't have that. It will go to the store. So now I have all these routes that is already created for me. You can check that by doing PHP artisan routes list. If I go to PHP artisan route list, I get all these routes. And of all the routes, the most important ones are here. The tickets post that is used to store in the database, right? To create the record in the database, but there is also create. Don't confuse that, because this one just displays the ticket form for the user. This one lists all the tickets, the .index. So this is named route. That means I can use this name in my application with some helper functions and access these routes. So this gets really interesting. So let's go on and display a form in the write a form here, and when user visits this, I'll display what I had here, which is view return ticket.create, but ticket.create didn't have anything earlier. Now I'll create something here. I'll copy what I have here and paste it here. So inside here in the card body, I'll get rid of this, and instead I'll have a form for the purpose of post. And this is where I'll use the function route. This is a function, it's a blade function, so I'll put it in here. It's a PHP function, so I'll put it in a blade syntax like that, and I can say go to the route named. So the name that I want to access now is this one, right? to store, to persist in the database, this is what I want, tickets.store. So I give that here, tickets.store. So I'm saying whenever this form is submitted, go to tickets.store route, which is just /tickets, but with a method of post. So when I have a button here that would submit my work with a save button, when I click save, it will be sent to that to this route, which will go to the store method in the controller. And for now, we won't worry about that. Instead, we'll just create the form using some bootstrap-form CSS classes. I'll create a form group and a label for title, and an input with form control class. It will have a name. Let me put the name here. Name, title, ID title. So this form looks fine to me. So I'll visit the /create to see the form, which looks nice. I have a title and a save button. I can have another div with similar class form group. Here and here I'll have, oh man, this time for description, and I'll be using text area. The name will be disk. The ID will be disk too. The same goes here. This keyboard, man. Okay, refresh, so I have a title and a description, a good looking form. I realize you're not getting the whole picture there. So I'll just give some CSS class for the button. So when I refresh it, let's zoom back so you can see the whole thing. So this is a form I built. So it has a title, it has a description, and then they submit. When they submit, it goes to the tickets, but with a post method. So if I inspect this, refresh it, and goes into my network, there is this tickets. The URL is the same as the list of tickets, but this time it is using the method post. And for some reason it's showing 419 unknown status, and this is because of Laravel security protection. Laravel forms are by default protected from cross-site forgery requests, and to make sure the requests are coming from the actual application, and you tell the Laravel that yes, it's coming from this application by saying by including this blade syntax here, the blade attribute cross-site request forgery at CSRF. Now if I refresh it, let me go back, tickets/create, I submit, and now it's submitting because I'm getting this save, which is coming from the store method here. So the store name method normally has to have the request helper class here with $request, right? And then I can dd $request and see all the requests coming from the crate here. And this is the request form, but since I haven't added anything in my form, I wouldn't see anything in there. So I'll just put this in the description and click save. Now this is the request, the parameters and everything are here. This is the request object. I'll zoom in so you can see better. Yes. So if you go here into the parameters, I don't see the parameters. Request either. Okay, maybe the header. Yes, here in the request you have parameters, and then you have this. These are your attributes, so they are being sent into the server, which is what we want. There is a token to protect you from cross-site request forgery, which is nice security feature that comes with Laravel. The title and description. So in the next video, we will access this and save it into our database in different ways. We will validate the form coming in from the user and save it in the database. And when we visit tickets, we'll have a third and a fourth tickets available. And when we display it, we'll see the detail here. For now, it's enough. Thank you.